that my phone? No, it's not my phone's off.
So today we're beginning our new unit on polynomials. We're going to start the day off with multiplication.
Wow.
It's review. We've actually done some of it already this year.
What is that like unit 2 and 3?
Like it was our review lesson. We touched on a little bit, and we're gonna do a little bit. We're gonna take what we started back then. We're gonna augment it. Augment means to expand upon the topic a little bit. So let's do some multiplication.
Call it a day.
Okay, so let's review something that we've already seen this year. We've already done this. We're going to do it again, just to make sure we're all good. Shortcut. Now basically the way you multiply is with the box, okay? But we're going to teach you guys a couple shortcuts today because with the amount of multiplication we're going to be doing, the shortcuts make life livable. You only want to use the box if you need to. So I want to give you guys a couple of shortcuts today. Okay, so this is one we've already learned, so let's do an example. Now, anytime you're multiplying two binomials that are exactly the same except for one is a minus and one is a plus, all you have to do is square the first term. What would that give me?
X squared.
And then square the second term. What would that give me?
X. Wait, oh, my bad. 9 squared.
Just 9, because 3 squared would be 9, right?
Yeah.
And then it's minus. There's your answer. It's the opposite of a difference of squares when you're factoring. Let's do another one.
Oh, my bad.
What's my first term?
Until I saw this, don't you use oil?
You could,
Outside.
but I'm showing you guys a shortcut. So the first term is 4, but then we square it, right? So that means 4x times 4x. What's that?
16x.
And then we square the second term, and it's a minus, right? So let me throw a couple of student practices at you. You ready? Start off with something simple. And then we'll give you one a little more challenging. Not too much more challenging, just a tad. Heidi rock. You rock. He's got it now. He knows. Nathaniel,
Yes, sir.
what'd you get here?
4x squared minus 3.
Very good. Okay, so we've already done that this year. Now I'm going to show you guys something we haven't done this year. Okay? I don't want you guys to write this next slide. I just want you to watch, okay? Here we go. Now, suppose I had x plus 5 and x plus 5. Now you guys recognize that's not the same shortcut we just did, right? Because they're both plus. Now I'm going to work it out the long way, kind of like Jonathan said to Henry earlier. If it's not that pattern, then you got to actually do it the old school way, okay? Once again, you're not writing, you're just watching. Here we go. This is going to be x squared, this is going to be 5x, this is going to be 5x, and this is going to be 25. Then we take it out, right? We have x squared. We have two 5x's, which come together to make 10x, and then we have 25, right? Okay. Now, there's a shortcut for this as well. Notice that 5 times 5 is 25, right? So once again, you just square that number. And x times x is x squared. So once again, you just square the first number, square the last. The issue is this guy in the middle. Where do you think he comes from?
Oh, add 5 as well.
Add 5 and just put an x in
Good, good. Now I'm going to say it differently, but yes. Double it. right? What's 5 times 2?
10.
10.
There you go.
Oh, so you just double it. Okay.
Okay. Now, I also want you guys to be aware of this. This can be written another way. It can be written like this. Okay? All right. So now that I've front-loaded all that information for you, let's go ahead and write part B here. We have another shortcut rule. Ready? If you have x plus a squared, here's what the answer will be. You're going to square the first term. You're going to square the last term. And in the middle, you're going to put these two together. So it's going to be ax, but you're going to double it. That's it. That's our shortcut. So square, square, multiply, double. Now, before I go any further, this could also be a minus. So let's put a minus there. If that's a minus, this will be a minus. Because if you multiply x times negative a, don't you get negative ax? And then when you double it, you get negative 2ax. So that's that. But this one's still going to be positive. Why? Yeah, because when you do negative a squared, a negative times a negative makes a positive. So this will always be plus. It's just that this one. So basically, it's square the first, square the last, multiply these together, and double it. This sign will always match whatever that sign is. So let's go ahead and put it to work for us. Ready? So suppose I gave you guys this. X plus, let's do, I guess we could do 8. Ready? Square the first. What's that?
X squared.
Square the last.
60. Oh, wait, 64.
64. Put these together. That would be 8x, right? But double it. I'll show my work. You don't have to show your work. If you can just do it mentally, I think that would be better, actually. But I'm going to show my work. So put the two numbers together and double it. Okay? And so our final answer is this. Let's do another one. X minus 5. Let's square it. Ready? Square the first. Square the last. Good. 25. What's going in the middle?
10.
What kind of 10? Negative 10.
Wait, no. Oh, negative times positive. My bad.
Because you multiply these. What's 5 times negative 5 times x? Negative 5x, right? Then you double it. Negative 10x. Remember I told you, whatever this sign is, that sign will always match it. So if this is minus, this is minus. If this is plus, that's plus.
Oh, okay.
The second one is always positive because you're squaring it. Negatives go away when you square. All right, let's do another one. Ready? 2x plus 3. Okay? I'm going to use my cards this time. Jonathan. What will the first term be?
4x squared.
Good. If you square this, that means 2x times 2x. That would be 4x squared.
Can I give you the whole answer and we're done?
No. But thank you. Alexis, what will the last term be? The last term. How about, he's not here. How about Kenneth? Good. It's just 3 to the second power. And Joanne, what will go in the middle? You're close. You put these together, right? 2x times 3x makes 6x, but what do you have to do? You have to double it, right? So it's this times this. What's that? 6x, and then double it.
Wait, so we have to, like, so there's 2 numbers we have to multiply, right?
Yep. Yep. We better do another one just to be
Hold
sure.
on, I'm confused. Oh wait, there's more. You did still we're adding it.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Another one. Give me some numbers, Henry.
10x plus 5.
Okay. I know you guys got the first and last terms down pretty well. Kendall, first term.
It would be 100 x.
Good. Leslie, last term. Good. Okay, now I'm going to give you a minute to think about the middle. Okay? Go ahead. Take a minute. Don't shout it out. Just take a minute. How's about Paris? What say ye? Paris? Oh. What'd you get in the middle? Nothing. Let's try Michael. What'd you get in the middle? Yeah. Okay. It's 100. Here's why. What's 10x times 5? 50x, right? And then what do we do with that? We double it. There you go. All right. So I'm going to give you guys some student practices now. Thanks. Okay. Go ahead. Kiara. What'd you get for the first one? Good. Questions? Okay, next we have Alicia. Next one. Minus what x?
14.
Good. Any questions on that one? Panjane, what'd you get for 3? Good. All right, so now we have a shortcut for multiplying by squared binomials. But I just want you guys to be aware that shortcut applies also. Like if I had written this, that shortcut still applies, right? Because that really just means it's being squared. So if you see that, use the shortcut. Okay? All right. So now that we've learned our shortcuts, they'll hopefully make life a little bit easier for what we're about ready to jump into here. What we're going to get into now is multiplying again, but we're going to be multiplying some expressions that are a little bit bigger than usual. Okay, so we're going to write that one down. Yeah. Remember the box method? We're going to do the box method. But our box is going to change its shape a little bit. Because this one has how many terms?
3.
It's gonna be a triangle.
This one has how many terms?
Oh, my bad.
Rectangle?
It'll be more like a rectangle. So we're going to have a box that is 3 long and 2 deep. Okay, so it's going to be like this. Now, we could have done it long ways, too. It doesn't matter. I'm just doing this for space. All right, so obviously the top is where I'm going to put the polynomial that has 3 terms. So I'm going to put x squared here, minus 3x here, minus 5 here. And the one that has 2 terms I'm going to put down this side because that's the space that has 2 spots. And there's really not much new to it. It's just more of the same. So what is x times x squared? How about x times negative 3x?
Negative 3x squared.
And so on, right?
Positive 6x.
Okay. And here's the good news. What I like about the box method is for these types of problems because you don't have to go looking for your like terms. They're where they always are. They're diagonal from each other. Those are like terms, and those are like terms. So I have x cubed is my first one, right? And then these two in this circled pair get put together. What does that make? No, you got to add the coefficients or combine them. Right? You add the coefficients, negative 2 and negative 3 and negative 5. The x squared stays the same. How about here?
Negative 1 plus 1x plus 5.
6 take away 5. Yeah, 6 and negative 5 makes positive 1 x.
Isn't that a negative 6?
Was it? No, because a negative times a negative makes a positive. Oh, I forgot my plus. Thank you. There you go. So that's our box method. Yeah, it's just more of the same. It's just bigger, right? Okay, we're going to do the same thing, but anybody guess what I'm going to do next?
Complicated or more complicated? Oh, you're going to square it or something like that? So.
What kind of box should I have now?
Delicious. 3 stack.
You should have a 3 by 3. 3 by 3. I've got 3 terms and 3 terms.
Is that your favorite unit? You're enjoying this.
So your box is going to be 3 by 3. You do too.
Thanks, I hate it.
Thanks, I hate it.
Yes.
No.
That's
Don't
next.
give him ideas.
Yeah, make it big. Yeah.
Okay. Why don't you guys fill it in? I'm going to pause here. You can check your work. Here we go.
That's a move. You killed Michael, Mr. Bailey. Proud.
So, whoops.
I get the legs.
You get the legs. The knee down. Not my patellas.
Those are a delicacy. All right. We're not done. We got to take it out. But once again, this is why I like the box method. All your like terms are arranged for you. So, those are like terms. They're both cubes, aren't they? These are all squares, aren't they? And these are all x's. So,
Wait, what the?
here we go. My biggest one comes first. 2x to the 4th. Now let's do these ones. What is 1x cubed minus 6x cubed?
Negative 6x, 6.
Nope.
6, 5.
Negative 5x cubed. Yeah, now we're adding, so we're switching up the game a little bit. Now we're going to put all 3 of these together. What is negative 5 take away 3 plus 2?
Negative 6x cubed.
Squared.
Yeah, squared, my bad.
And how about these two, the 15x and the 1x?
16x.
And then?
And then minus 5. Holy snap, dude.
So it won't get worse than that. That's the good news.
I'm gonna ram my head into a concrete wall. Not again.
Okay, I'm going to give you guys one.
It was.
Is this student practice?
This is student practice. Go ahead and see what you guys can get.
Math is so much fun.
But here's our last level. I promise they won't get much more complicated than what we're about ready to do.
Say that, Mr. Bailey, but it does.
Oh, maybe. All right, here we go. Example 3.
Example 4?
Is it 4?
I think so. I don't know if brain's fried.
Here we go. Write it down. Now, Jonathan, I think, saw something. What do you think Jonathan sees here? We see a short. Do you guys see the shortcut? No, we're not going to do that.
Okay, well, it's a 3 and a plus 2.
So here's what we're going to do. Here's a note. I would write this note. If you can, write this down. If you can, do shortcuts first. The whole point of shortcuts is to make it faster. So write down this note. If you can, do shortcuts first. If you can, do shortcuts first. So I see a shortcut here. What's the answer to that shortcut?
X squared minus 9.
Great.
I'm going to do that.
Yeah, now this is something we haven't looked at yet today. This is when you have just a single term, that's a simple distribution problem. Okay? So make sure you write this note as well. Distribute.
So it's 2x cubed.
Good. So it's going to be 2x cubed minus 18x. So if you can, do shortcuts first.
Oh, that's not that bad.
And if you have something out here with a single term, that's just distribution. But what should you do, the distribution first or the shortcut? Shortcuts first. Let's do another one. Can I change slides?
Wait, hold on. I was right.
Nice job, John. We good now?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do another one. Kind of similar. Ready? Negative 3x, x plus 4 squared. You guys see the shortcut? There's a shortcut, right? There we go. I want you guys to do the shortcut here. I'll give you a moment. See if you can do the shortcut. This is the one where you guys had trouble getting the middle number. Remember that from today?
Oh.
Yes.
What?
This is the one where you guys had trouble getting that middle number.
Oh, yeah.
Multiply and double. Multiply and double.
We got it.
You guys glad we have the shortcuts now?
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to have to box that out every time. Shortcuts are nice. Here we go. So what comes first?
It's plus 800.
What comes last?
60
What goes in the middle?
plus 80.
Good.
And then plus, yeah.
Shortcuts first. Now what?
Oh,
Yeah.
no, you distribute.
Distribute.
Negative 3 cubed.
Shortcuts first, then distribute if you need to. So this is going to be 3x what?
Cubed
Then what?
minus 16. No, wait, whoa. Minus 48.
If you can't get that multiplication that fast, don't worry. Just as long as you know the process, you're good. But there it is. All right? I want to throw another one at you. I want to throw one more at you. Huh? No.
Stop throwing stuff at us.
Am I on number
Can you toss it?
3?
I had my
Okay, I'll toss it. I like that suggestion. Ready?
Thank you. Oh.
Can you do those two first and then do that one?
Oh, I see. Oh, I
I
see.
don't have my baseball bat. But
That's
if
a
you
good
lay it
thing.
on the ground, I can stomp.
That's what we call a stage stomp there.
All right, ready. So, what do we do first, guys?
That one, the x, negative x plus
The shortcut. There's actually
Two of them.
2 shortcuts.
Oh.
Here's one.
And the other one's the
What's
other
that shortcut make?
It's like
X squared minus
1.
2x.
That one's good, right? Put parentheses on it.
Oh, wait, what?
Now
This is another shortcut.
X squared.
Go ahead and do that shortcut. I'll give you a minute.
X squared plus 4 plus, wait, x squared plus 1.
Again.
What do you think, Nelson? What's that shortcut going to be?
X squared plus 4x.
There it is. Now, how do I do this? That's a box problem. That's a box problem.
Wait,
We thought we were
How big will my box be?
3 by 2.
2 by 3. Huh?
Oh, wait, could we do 3 by 2 though? Or
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
All right, so I'm still going to do it this way. I like it to be horizontal rather than vertical. So we're going to put x squared here, 4x here, 4 here, and so on.
You make it a roadblock.
What goes here?
X squared. And then 4x cubed. And then 4x squared. And then negative x squared. And then negative 4x. Okay, this is the dilemma because they're not. Wait, do I have to, do I have to, make a
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
This
whoa,
one I'm
pause.
confused about. I was like, wait, hold on.
Good obs. Good obs. All right,
Like a snake.
check it
Yeah, I
out.
was just thinking about that.
Ready? X to the 4th, right?
Yeah.
Now here's the roadblock that John's talking about. What's the roadblock we're seeing?
It's
They're
not.
not. They're not.
Those are not like terms.
It's just 4.
Now I'm going to tell you why that happened. You guys ready? Do you guys see how this one skips? It goes from x squared to 1,
Yes.
but this one goes from 2 to 1 to none. When you skip, it messes up your box. So you got to be kind of careful about finding your like terms. So let me show my work in a little bit of a different way. The x squared is like what? This guy.
Yeah.
So let's put those together.
So it's negative 3x. Wait,
Would
3
the 4x
x
3 go
plus
first though?
3x squared.
Yeah.
Okay.
3x squared. And is this guy like anybody?
No.
So just
So the
put them there.
Wait, what the?
Minus 4x.
So on these we just have to find out.
Minus 4.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to look.
Wait, how do we know what order?
Good question. Henry asked, how do you know what order to put them in?
Where's
The
the
highest variable.
Yeah. And that would be
You start with your highest exponent. Now you wouldn't be wrong if you put them in a different order, but on a multiple choice test, that's what you're looking for. Okay? So this is as bad as it gets. Okay? I won't make it worse than this. This is it. So you have shortcuts and then you have box, and that's it. And sometimes you just got to put them
I'm gonna
together.
forget this when I get home.
So I'm going to throw a couple at you guys. Last student practice of the day. I will gently pass to you the following problems. Ready? There's one.
Oh.
Here's another one.
There is only one.
Mr. Bailey, I can and will try.
Promise.
Just erase that one. Just erase it. It's a handout.
Vanessa
Okay.
and other smarty pants out there. I'm going to throw another one at you.
Can we just do
You
2?
made a mistake.
Can we like pick one of
I'm writing problems. How can I make a mistake with a problem?
No, I'm talking about real life, not in math. You mistook Rowan's name.
Yeah.
What did I say?
The mistake you made with my name.
What did I do?
The wrong name.
Oh. Okay. So here it is. This one's a tricky one. I'm going to let you guys think about that one. If you want. But make sure you do these ones first. But if you got time, try number 4.